Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where I take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock it, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Today we look at Dane Brugler from The Athletic. He's got a 2-rounder. It's going to be nuts. We're going to try to fly through this. So if you got any questions or you want to just chat, go ahead. Let's have this nice, beautiful football discourse in the comment section below. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. If you want to see my full big board, my full prospect rankings, then you go ahead, become a Patreon member. It's the best way to support the channel, and it helps me make more content for you guys. We have a stream on Monday. It's going to be Walk the Mock, which means it's going to be you mocking against me. Of course, you got to be a premium member at Walk the Mock, and I got a discount code in the description. Check the description I got all kinds of cool things going on down there, and I'll leave the promo code. Hopefully I remember it. I'm gonna make a note. Remember it. Bam. Note taken. Let's go ahead and take a look at this mock draft. I heard it was crazy. That's why I had to go and check it out for myself. So let's go ahead and do that sucker. Let's take a look at our first picks. Oh my gosh, Icky! Icky's going to the Jags. What? After numerous conversations with the NFL scouts, league execs, in preparation for this mock, there were 2 key takeaways that led me to Icky. And here they are. First, there are several evaluators around the league who have Icky ranked higher than Alabama's Evan Neal and Mississippi State's Charles Cross. Second, several evaluators agreed that in a draft class missing a no-brainer top prospect, they prefer the tackles over the pass rushers. I have no clue how the Jags feel, but Icky at least belongs in the conversation. Listen, no matter how much you love a prospect, there is always someone who loves that prospect more. Icky, I'm glad this cat's getting love. I've been high on Icky like so long. Ever since I was like, wow, your pass protection's so much better. And it's nice to see like the draft world get on board with that. I like that. I like that a lot. Here at number 1. That's crazy though. I can't wait to see how the rest of this mock pans out. Aiden Hutchinson, the Detroit boy, going back to Detroit. Who would have thought? Yeah, no, this is a good pick. Take the best player available, Detroit. You need it. Houston Texans, same thing in mind. They take the best player available, KT, Kayvon Thibodeaux. Fantastic pick. I like KT a lot. Pass rush, definitely, yeah, needs help there. If you're the Houston Texans, honestly, these first, 3 teams, just take best player on the board at every pick. Keep adding blue chip talent to your squads. You don't have the luxury to really reach, I would say, especially here, unless you really fall in love with one of the quarterbacks, which, by the way, can't wait to see where or who the first quarterback is off the board. Derek Stingley going to the Jets. Some like it, some hate it. I'll leave that distinction up to you. I like it. Of course, I'm a part of the whole wait and see crowd when it comes to, is there something wrong with the ankle, bruh? We'll find out at the combine, hopefully. Evan Neal going to the Jets. No brainer. Or Giants. The G-men, they need offensive linemen. Hopefully they bring in a coaching staff that can develop these offensive linemen, because that's kind of been the problem. They've been bringing in some of these guys and they've failed to develop them. Will Hernandez is kind of the latest example, At this point, they're better off just parting ways. They probably don't bring him back. Matt Pert is another one that just, I don't know if it's really, he hasn't really gotten the opportunity, but also it's like he hasn't wowed you when he has gotten the opportunity, even though it's been few and far between. But yeah, no, Evan Neal's a great pick at this point. Carolina Panthers, do we see a quarterback? No, Charles Cross. Charles Cross is the next cat off the board. Cross is good, dude. I really think he could go with the Jets, or the Jets' first pick, just because he's such a good fit to that blocking scheme. He really is. And if they're not sold on George Fant, then yeah, it could happen. The Giants are taking Kyle Hamilton. I like this. If they really do want to stay with like best player on the board, just picking the best talent, it's going to be Kyle Hamilton. It really is. I like George Karlaftis. He's an easy guy to kind of chalk into this 7th pick. But if we're being honest, it's Kyle Hamilton. And I mean, think about it. You got Peppers as a free agent. You got Logan Ryan is more of this veteran leadership than a guy you want consistently on the field. You got Xavier McKinney, who's fantastic. But getting Kyle Hamilton really spiced things up. This is the Atlanta Falcons. They go David Ojabo. Ooh. And honestly, I really do think Ojabo might be a better fit than George Karlaftis, because he kind of feels like in that defense he would be maybe the Dante Fowler role. Maybe that's me just kind of like trying to big brain it and just thinking too much of it. But Ojabo, man, athletically, like Dane Brugler here, but oh boy, he's a big fan of athleticism. Yes, he is. Him and Bruce Feldman, they be what's the word? They be friends. Yeah, sorry. Gotta text my boy back. Going to have a nice little lunch date. We're gonna go get sandwiches. Hoagies, baby. Hoagies. Denver Broncos quarterback. No, I guess they're going Devin Lloyd. Yeah, they're going Devin Lloyd. All right. I've talked about this with Mel Kiper. His mock we did yesterday, because he had Nakobe Dean going here instead. The linebacker position got thin because of injury. They're gonna have a lot of guys back healthy next year, but it doesn't hurt. Improving on the depth, improving the talent there, especially if you're not sold on a quarterback. That's kind of gonna be the theme of this draft. Which quarterback are you gonna get sold on, and is he worth where you're picking? It's gonna be interesting, especially if a quarterback doesn't go in the top 10. Garrett Wilson, this was the pick I think I made in my mock, going to the Jets. I like this because he's a guy that could go inside, he could go outside. Elijah Moore's kind of a similar way. And then you also have Corey Davis. And then here, our boy Dane, he's like, with all due respect, Jameson Crowder and Braxton, is it Berrios? I never figured out how to say his last name. When they are your most productive pass catchers, you will officially have a wide receiver problem. Part of that was the quarterback too, a lot of bumps and bruises. Then you had Mike White as your quarterback some part of the year, come on, it ain't all Zach Wilson's fault. Kenny Pickett, first quarterback off the board, going to Washington. This is good. This is a good offensive line you're putting him behind. I think if Washington is going to go quarterback, it's not going to be Malik Willis. He's more of a project. Kenny Pickett and Sam Howell are probably the two ideal picks because they're kind of like, hey, they're ready to play. Though I think Kenny Pickett, I lean more towards Sam Howell because I think the upside's greater. I think he's just more decisive. I know Sam Howell at times, he could have a hard time coming off his first read. Part of that is the RPO heavy scheme he plays there in Mac Brown's offense. But yeah, no, take whatever quarterback you're comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with the quarterback, then take best player available. Someone that you think could really help now. Why? I got this like heated coffee coaster and it was blinking at me. It's from my desk. It was really nice. It was a Secret Santa. I love it. The Minnesota Vikings, Malda Gardner, they lost in the sauce. I said lost in the sauce. Do we need to explain this? Their cornerback room? It's bad. They need to get talent. Ahmad Gardner, he's talent. Cleveland Browns, Treylon Burks. We've been talking about receiver for the Browns. Give Baker really no excuse at this point. Do they move on? Are they like, hey, Baker, this was a good year. Here's more money. Be our quarterback for a little longer. What will they do? So grabbing a talent like Treylon Burks, who I really think will rise up boards just because he's you depending on how he tests out, like everyone's gonna be comparing him to like your pick of DK Metcalf, Chase Claypool, AJ Brown. I mean, in this case, Deebo Samuel. I mean, those are hella good comps. Baltimore Ravens, Trayvon Walker. Listen, straight up, Trayvon Walker. I really thought he might return because I think he's got like top 10 potential. He's a guy that's just not polished. Like you see all the physical traits and you're like, wow, but it's not polished. You know, this guy's not going to be ready there year one. While a lot of guys, yeah, they're not going to be ready year one regardless. Like, you know, this guy is not going to be ready year one. But I really like him as like a fit here. And he talks like Dane talks about Khalees Campbell, Brandon Williams set to hit free agency. I really see Walker more like this Derek Wolfe role there. So yeah, no, that's really, really good. I like it. The Philadelphia Eagles, let's go over both their picks. Andrew Booth and Tyler Linderbaum. You could argue these are probably, well, everyone knows Tyler Linderbaum's the top interior player in this class when it comes to the offensive line. Andrew Booth, you could definitely argue he is the third corner in this class. Some people like him at number one if you're like Ian Cummins and the guys over at Pro Football Network. But the dude's stupid athletic. He's going to test out great. And best part, he finished the year super strong. So recency bias, gotta love it. That's the thing with Kyer Elam right now. You know, this last year was probably maybe his worst year. A lot of that has to do with penalties. But recency bias, there you're gonna go like unless you like really go back and look at his like first 2 years, you're gonna kind of forget that. Be like, look at his most recent year, be like, wasn't that good compared to the rest of the class? Even though he's a fantastic prospect, and those years totally should count for something. But yeah, no, this is good. We see the Chargers getting Trevor Penning. Holy freaking moly. I said this, that Dane's kind of like, he really likes the freaks when it comes to like size, athleticism. And that's kind of what Trevor Penning is, man. Kenyon Green. I know I didn't even say this yesterday. Kenyon Green didn't even make the first round in Mel's. Why can't Kenyon Green get some freaking love, dude? But anyway, Trevor Penning. Let me make sure. Like, Kenyon Green did declare for the draft, right? I mean, let me just verify. Okay, enters the draft. Okay, what the heck? I'm here psyching myself out that I may have missed that. But Trevor Penning, I get the idea. You're trying to replace your right tackle at this point. I still think Kenyon Green might be the better option. You know, he's played all over the line. Being right tackle has started the year. Both games this season actually started the first 2 games of the year at right tackle. And it was kind of good at that position. But he also has guard flexibility. But I could get it if you see the upside of Penning. Like, again, Penning's very unpolished. If you've seen any of his tape, you'll know what I mean by, like, it feels like his feet, like, while they're quick, they do a whole lot of nothing. Like, a whole lot of work for a whole lot of what you doing? You just sitting there dancing. There's no motivation. There's no purpose in what you're doing there. So, interesting. I'll say that's interesting. I mean, we started the draft with Icky coming off the board number 1. That's wild. Do we get a quarterback here with the Saints? Matt Corral. Hashtag not my quarterback. Listen, I've been talking about why Matt Corral's lower on my board than probably everyone else's. Go check out one of my videos. I really feel like the Saints also are going to be in the market for a veteran quarterback, whether it's bringing Jameis Winston back, or going after like a Russell Wilson, a Derek Carr, a Jimmy Garoppolo, a Kirk Cousins. So Philadelphia Eagles with their final pick, because they went Andrew Booth, they went Tyler Linderbaum, they go George Karlaftis. He feels like an Eagle. He really does. Sam Howell going to the Steelers. That's pretty dope. That's solid. I like Sam Howell. He's my QB1. Big fan. You can start this cat right away. And then we see Nakobe Dean going to the New England Patriots. I really think Devin Lloyd's a good fit here, just because I see him playing in the Dante Hightower role. Again, you're just dealing with a very a linebacker with huge wingspan. That's going to be phenomenal against the run. That's going to clog passing lanes just with his sheer length. Like, you see these similarities and you just connect dots. But Nakobe Dean's interesting because, like, I don't know, man. I guess at this point he'd be like the Bentley, right? Is it Jaquan Bentley? I'm trying to remember who they got there playing linebacker as well. I think it's something Bentley. But yeah, I guess he would kind of take over for that, because Nakobe Dean, despite his size, because it's like he has less than desirable size, but like the dude's stupid fast. He plays downhill with his hair on fire. Like, he can stack like offensive linemen. Like, he comes in strong and he comes in with a lot of momentum. Drake London going to the freaking Las Vegas Raiders. Listen, I really think they're going to go speedster, whether it's Olave, whether it's Jameson Williams, just because I really think Zay Jones has shown enough to kind of be like that outside physical possession receiver, which Drake London, you can make an argument that he's an upgrade over Zay Jones. That's fine. I get that. But I don't know, man. Maybe I always go to freaking Nate Tice, dude, because I love listening to this cat, and I love his smile. Great smile, probably the best smile in the business. And he just talks about, listen, Drake London, he has number one wide receiver size that the NFL covets and loves. He's great after the catch. He's great at the catch point. Smooth route runner. This is a guy that the NFL is going to fall in love with. So he really thinks he's going to go a lot higher than this. You see that with Mel in the mock we covered yesterday. So maybe this is a case where the NFL falls in love with him. Like, the Raiders, honestly, you really can't go wrong with this pick. Like, yes, you can go wrong with this pick, like Damon Arnett wrong. But if you're doing it right, you really can't go wrong. There's a variety of different positions you can address here. Jordan Davis to the Cardinals is pretty nice. I like that because Corey Peters is up there in dog years, and Rashard Lawrence and Leaky Fotu, they really haven't shown enough to be like, yes, those guys are my nose, my zero techs of the future, my guys that I will rely on. Like, they haven't really shown that. Like, Jordan Davis, yeah, he can be that. Not a sexy pick, but it's a good pick. It'll really help with the run game, or not run game, but run defense. You can go corner. The corners are still here, whether it's Trent McDuffie, Kyer Elam, Roger McCreary, all three of those guys. Yo, there we go. Kenyon Green, baby. He does exist. I feel like it's that M&M's commercial, the Christmas one with Santa Claus, where it's like, oh, he does exist. They do exist. Ha ha ha. Because they're talking M&M's. Anyway, Kenyon Green. I get Connor Williams has had penalty problems this year, but his play hasn't been terrible to be where I'm like, hey, let's bring in another guard. If anything, I'm looking at Kenyon Green and be like, this might be my left tackle of the future. This might be the guy to replace Tyron Smith. Though having that positional versatility is actually pretty darn awesome. So, yeah. Bengals go Trent McDuffie. Ooh, that's interesting. That'd be fun to pair up with, was it Chidobe Awuzie? There we go. Yeah, no, that would be fun. That's a good fit. I really think they do need a corner too. Like, listen, Eli Apple, you got good parts of Eli Apple this year, but let's take him for what he's been the bulk of his career. So Yeah. The Miami Dolphins, Jermaine Johnson. This is interesting. I don't think he's talking about if we lose Emmanuel Ogba. I didn't butcher your last name. I don't think we will, man. This cat's been so good for us. Like, I imagine they bring him back. But Jermaine Johnson would be a good fit if he were to leave. So this is a very good what if scenario if we did not get Emmanuel back. I'm going to call you Emmanuel. Is that all right? Emmanuel Lowe? Emmanuel Lowe it is. Wow. Freaking Bills get Jameson Williams, dude. That's legit, dude. That's pretty awesome. Because, like, that's kind of your Cole Beasley replacement of the future. Gabriel, can you imagine Diggs, Davis, Williams? Like, Josh Allen, he doesn't have enough balls to satisfy these guys. Pause. Let's go to the next pick. But that's kind of, it's definitely, it's like a CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys type of feeling with this pick. I guess this is Chris Olave coming off the board to the Detroit Lions. No, yeah, that's pretty cool. Pair him up with Mon-Ra St. Brown. There we go. That would be pretty dope. Well, I mean, honestly, all the quarterbacks that I really like are off the... Well, no, Malik Willis is here. So maybe the NFL is not so high on Mr. Malik Willis, which probably doesn't surprise some of y'all. Kansas City Chiefs go Daxton Hill. I like this guy. This guy is legit just... He can be a center fielder. We know he's pretty darn good in the slot. Michigan played him almost exclusively in the slot last year, which I think was just a detriment to what this cat can do. You can move... Like, you can do a lot with him. So yeah, I guess you got Honey Badger hitting free agency. I wouldn't care too much about, like, Ward. I'd bring back Ward. He's a very nice outside receiver. I wouldn't care too much about Hughes, but oh my gosh, they're talking about him like he's a freaking slot corner. Okay, to be fair, he's like, Hill is not only an option at safety, but he played slot cornerback role, which, I mean, okay, yeah, Honey Badger, for the most part, was in the box a lot of the time. And I'd rather have Hill back there than Daniel Sorensen. And, I mean, we know how good Juan Thornhill is on the back end, too. So, it's like, this is a fun pick. I like this pick. Does it happen? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's pretty hard to project safety. 30, you are the Bucks. Logan Hall making an appearance. Listen, I'm not that high on Logan Hall. These guys are treating Logan Hall like he's Peyton Turner. I was far more in love with Peyton Turner than I was Logan Hall. I get the flexibility. This guy put on weight this past year, and he's still sitting at like 275. So he's kind of this, like, not high. I guess, yes, a hybrid player, but he's more of this tweener, you know? Is he more? He might be more edge than interior guy, which, I mean, you come in and I guess you have him play the William Golston role almost immediately. But I don't think he's a first rounder. Again, that's just me saying this right now. Again, we have Senior Bowl coming up. We have Combine. A lot of things could change. We'll find out. Tennessee Titans, Jahan Dotson. This is, I think, the right receiver. The type of receiver they need to get. A guy that can be a legit, like, separator, whether it's on the outside or in the slot. That speed demon, that explosiveness. I like that. DeMar Valier going to the Green Bay Packers. This one's very nice indeed. I do like this because he comes in, he could play that, like, 3-tech, 5-tech. Have them line up, whether you want them to line up on the outside with Gary or, like, you want them to line up next to Clark. They did just release Kiki Kingsley. Don't know what that's about. But, yeah, no, dude. Leal, man, I really think he's going to test out really good at the Combine after this year. Not nearly looking as great or as explosive or as... Yeah, I would say explosive. The movement skills weren't, like, as magical as they were in years past. I think just because he put on bad weight because he started playing the interior a lot more. Second round. Oh, he just lists them off. This feels dirty. I mean, he doesn't really give reasons why, and I don't want to just go over it. I guess we could run through it. I'll let y'all make your own opinions. Kyer Elam, pairing him up with Campbell. It's cool. I mean, they got Griffin there. But, hey, best player off your board. Why not? By the way, we did not see McCreary or Elam go in Mel Kiper's first round either, so interesting. I mean, these guys got their ear to the NFL a lot closer than me and you, so. But the Lions go corner, which, I think safety might be better. Like, Brisker would be pretty dope here. Bernhard Ryman, great pick. Desmond Ridder, wow, that's interesting. Let's go ahead and just scroll. I want to take a big look at all this. There's Trey McBride. Wow, maybe the NFL is a lot higher on Trey McBride. Then again, Trey McBride, I probably got him in like the 55 area. So maybe going up here is not that outlandish. Kenneth Walker going to the Texans. Yeah, it's better than David Johnson. Hey, David Johnson had a hell of a career when healthy, man. But Desmond Ridder going to the Giants is definitely interesting. Definitely puts a little fire under the tuchus of DJ there. George Pickens is a great pick in the second round for the Bears. Getting a legit wideout with Allen Robinson likely gone. Myjah Sanders, good pick, I guess, for the Broncos. I mean, he'd be going to a similar scheme as he plays with Cincinnati. So that's nice. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Daniel Falele, man, going to the Seahawks. I guess you kind of hope this is like your Dwayne Brown of the future. But immediately he kind of challenges Brandon. Is it Brandon Shell that's on the right side? I think so. Darion Kennard, dude, I really think he's just a bomb second rounder. I've seen him sneaking into some first rounds. I really hate him there. I don't feel like he's a first rounder, but I really like him in the second round. I mean, yeah, Washington will be losing Brandon Sheriff, so yeah. Malik Willis going to the Falcons in the second round. Yeah, get to sit behind Matty Ice. Why not? There's Drake Jackson going to the Browns, which is kind of cool. This is your stupid good athletic edge rusher opposite of Myles Garrett. Nicholas Petit-Frere, I got him probably in the 60 range on my board. Yeah, he had a pretty bad outing against Michigan, which kind of hurt him. But I mean, the Ravens, that's actually a really good scheme for him to go to. Kingsley Enagbare, my boy. Good to see you going to the Vikings there. So they do address edge rush. We've talked about edge rush possibly being a big need for the Vikings. Carson Strong going to the Colts. Do you really want to go with another Carson? Do you, Colts? Do you? Apparently the knee concerns aren't that all that concerning. Apparently he had an NFL doctor check it out. I don't know. I asked someone to link me it because they commented. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I get a lot of comments nowadays. Like, it's hard to go back and look at comments that I've replied to. It's just the truth. Fedarian Mathis, I like that. My boy getting some love. I really do think, like, two guys I've got ahead of him, Devontae Wyatt and Travis Jones, I would take those guys first. But I do like Fedarian Mathis. Like, I think Wyatt probably would be better, but I think the idea is the same as this one gap penetrator. Jalen Tolbert out of Southern Alabama, getting some love. I like that. Damon Clark. Listen, there's something to this if Damon Clark is going this high because he's big, he's pretty athletic. He won't wow you in coverage, but he's a guy that will make the tackle and allow you will not see guys get yards after the catch. That's what he does. That's who he is. he's kind of plus as a blitzer. He's a good run stuffer. And honestly, a linebacker, that's kind of what you want in the NFL. Those guys translate. You can fall and I fall victim to fall in love with these guys that are stupid athletic. But it doesn't always translate in the NFL. Chad Muma though, that dude's very good. I bumped him up past I think Christian Harris on my linebacker rankings. Zion Johnson, good fit for the Steelers because they are moving more towards a more athletic offensive line. So I guess if they don't bring back Trey Turner. Speaking of the devil, here is Christian Harris going to the Raiders. They get a linebacker there. John Mechie going to the Patriots, so they get a pretty solid receiver. Here's Cameron Thomas. There's Jawan Brisker. Louis Sain? I could never get his freaking name right, man. He's very similar to Brisker. I will say that. I feel like Brisker, though, I feel like Brisker, I feel better about having Brisker in the back end than, like, Sain. He really just feels like a box-only option. Rasheed Walker, I wouldn't take him this high. I get it. Physical tools are there when it comes to Walker. It's just when he has faced top competition, it doesn't go well. It never does. Sean Ryan, sounds like the NFL just sees this cat as a guard, which is fine. He's really good at. He'd be really good at that. In the NFL, I'd be willing to give him a shot at tackle though. Marcus Jones, baby, probably one of the best slot options in this draft. I kind of lean to Jalen Pitre out of Baylor. Arnold Ebiketie falling pretty far in this one though. I'm a lot higher on him than that. We got David Bell going to the Falcons. That's pretty dope. I do like David Bell. And then Jeremy Rucker got another tight end here. No Jalen Wademeyer. What a shock. But Jeremy Rucker, man, athletically, he's a lot of teams are going to like him. They're going to also like what he can do as a blocker, one of the better blocking tight ends in this class. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.